welcome back to my channel. This is Trans Guy Reacts, and my name is Nikolai, and I make videos about women's basketball. Today I'm talking about the controversies that are going on right now around Kim Mulkey and what's going on with the Elite Eight, because we're now at that point where it's the Elite Eight. So let's get into this video. Let me just break down what's going on. So first of all, I read that Washington Post article. I don't remember who wrote it. I don't really care. It was pretty much everything that we already knew about Mulkey. She had written a lot of this stuff in her memoir, so there was already information about this stuff. It was kind of a nothing burger, to be honest. It was just more confirmation that, like Mulkey is a hard ass, and she'll cut you off for life if she thinks that you're disloyal in any way. It's loud outside. So she's pretty honest. She's always been that way. She's just been, like, this is who I am, and if you fuck with me, then I'm gonna cut you out of my life. And I kind of respect that because I'm very much that way too. Once you've done something that I feel is really disrespectful, it's gonna take a lot for me to take you back in my life. And they went to too in depth about her dad and the fact that she hasn't talked to him in decades because he left her mom, and kind of ruined their family or whatever. I don't know. It's just it's weird because it's this is really not our business. Why are you talking about this? But it was a really big part of the article, and it's detailing how he lives really destitute, and that he comes to all her games even though she doesn't know he's there or whatever. I'm whatever, dude. This is trying to paint some kind of picture. Is very armchair psychology kind of stuff, whatever. But what I do want to respond to is there are two things in the article that really pissed me off that I was this is the reason why I get so irritated with journalists who don't cover women's basketball covering it or saying anything about it because they don't have the facts. And he completely dismissed Baylor as a school and as a women's sports program, and I was what the hell? And Nikki Collins in her post-game interview acknowledged it. She said she didn't read the article, but she was told about the comment about the withering Baylor as a school or whatever, or entity. And I agree with Nikki Collins and how how dare this person come out and say that you don't watch the games, you don't know what's going on. Baylor has been a contender ever since Nikki Collins went there. Of course, it's not the same. It's not the Kim Mulkey show, and honestly, it's kind of better. Baylor is a better team and more cohesive, and Nikki Collins is an amazing coach. She used to coach in the WNBA, and it's just so disrespectful to just blankly state and dismiss Baylor as if they're not a good school or not a good sports program. It's not true. And you're also, a lot of people read the Washington Post, so you're putting seeds in their heads as if that is true, and it's not. Also, the comment about Angel Reese staying in school because of her NIL deals, which is not true. Oh my god, that has nothing to do with if she's going to stay in school or not. She needs to stay at LSU because she needs to become a better basketball player. She's really good. She's almost a good pro player, but she makes some silly mistakes, and she does need to kind of refine her game a little bit more. But she could go into the draft this year and she'd be fine. But NIL has nothing to do with how much money she's going to make. Those deals come with her once she leaves the school, and they'll become endorsement deals. She ain't losing no money. And they wrote something in there about the max salary that she could get. She's not going to get that. You have to be the max salary. You have to be in the league for several years to even get that. And then there has to be all these other things going on with the roster and the budgets to allow that to happen. And that's another issue with the reality of the WNBA is most people make a bag overseas, and we know that, and we want that to change, and we want the salaries to go up. But if you keep dismissing the league as if it's not worth their time, people's time, then no one's gonna watch it. And it's crazy because all of the college kids want to go to the WNBA. They love it. They understand the history behind it and why it's important. But these reporters keep dismissing it as if the WNBA is beneath them or something. It's no, you guys are making it seem like it's beneath them. You are the problem. It's you. You're the problem. Anywho, but yeah, just wanted to say that. And then there is a great video that Sue Bird made. She did an interview with on her Together YouTube channel with Paige Beckers and Aaliyah Boston, and I think it was Nneka Nwumike, and they were talking about the NIL situation, about some other things in the college game, and it was really informative and it really gave a really clear understanding of what is actually going on. And I really implore you to watch that. It's only like 20 minutes. Like, give it a go. Look it up. Together, YouTube, Sue Bird, interviews, Paige Beckers. It'll be easy to find. Now, let's talk about the LA commentary piece. Again, I don't know who the writer is. I don't care. It's some old white guy. He is a writer. I saw that he is based. He is super biased because all of his writing is about like UCLA sports, but only the men's sports. Okay, the men's sports team. So already he's coming at the situation with a very particular view about what UCLA should or is to the world, calling the women's basketball team America's sweetheart, which is crazy because no one has ever said that or believes that. They're not that popular. Sorry, they're just not. Lauren Betts is amazing, Kiki Rice is amazing, but they're not that popular for his team. They did not go that far in their tournament. If you want to say anyone's the darling, it would probably, like America's sweetheart, it would be Caitlin Clark, just her. Just her, not the Iowa team, just her. And it's just like, it just doesn't make any sense. Two, it's a commentary piece. Commentary piece is basically like an opinion piece. It's just, there's not that much factual stuff. I mean, there's some factual information in it, but it's not research based, and it's very much a one-sided opinion. And so, like, you got to take that with a grain of salt. Three, it's a really silly article, and it plays into a whole bunch of sexist and racist tropes. It's like kind of crazy. I'm like, this is 2024, and this grown-ass man is talking about 18 to 22-year-olds and talking about them being dirty debutantes, which is fucking racist and sexist. Talking about milk and cookies, comparing UCLA to milk and cookies. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Out of touch. He's a loser, and he just wanted clicks on his article, which he got. He got us to click on it, and it was bullshit. And also, the article ends with Lauren Betts praising Angel Reese and talking about her as a person in a positive light. So I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And then fifth, this motherfucker calls out Kim Mulkey about making a big deal about that Washington Post article, which is true. She did make a big huff to do about it, and she really didn't need to. But he's also making a big deal making this. He's totally riding the wave of that article. He's like, oh, let me get some clicks on my LA Times article because, if they're going to go over there to the Washington Post, I can write a little dumb piece that means nothing and get some eyeballs over here. And I was like, bruh, you're a hypocrite and you're sad. You're a sad little man with probably a small dick. And that's what I think about any kind of guy who talks shit about women's sports or is sexist in any way. It's like one of two things. You're just a sad person inside. You're just like, you hate yourself and you have nothing going for you other than to bring other people down. And two, you have a small penis because only people with small dicks act like this. They got little dick syndrome and they gotta like put themselves above other people. So that's what I think. It could be true, it could be not. I don't care. I think you have a little dick. Anyway, going on to Mulkey. Kim Mulkey, actually, which is crazy because I think Kim Mulkey is ridiculous as a person, but she did make a good point when she called it out and she was like, this is sexist. I can't believe he's calling players this, which is true. It's like, how would you, like, it's ridiculous that someone of her particular set, like how she is as a person and how ridiculous she is, has to call out someone else for being sexist and racist. That's wild. And she is right. She was freaking right. It's wild. But I mean, what can you do? It's like men who never covered women's sports, don't cover women in general, decide that they need to cover it so they can get the click. This is the new cool thing. Let me write something so I can get some clicks on my article. Is fucking wild. I can't believe I have to agree with Kim Mulkey in this, and she was right with everything she said about in response to it. It was ridiculous. Unfortunately, racism and sexism, it's always been a part. It's always been around. It's going to be something we're going to have to deal with. Angel Reese, Flage, like, they're going to get the short end of the stick because they're black women and they dominate. They're really good at what they do. And people, the media doesn't like that. They don't want to portray that in a positive light. It doesn't get clicks, okay? What gets clicks is fair-skinned girls who can ball. Caitlin Clark, and she can ball. She's really good. She's a great all-around player, and they are riding that wave. They are riding it. They were riding it for Sue Bird. They were writing it for Rebecca Lobo. They were writing it for Sue Bird. They were writing it for oh my god, Brianna Stewart. They were writing it for Sabrina Ionescu, for Kelsey Plum. You're like, oh my god, there's a white girl who can play. Let's give them all the spotlight. Because why would we give all these other women, the spotlight, who were black, who've been doing it for decades. We don't want to do that now. We don't like black women. But you're white. Let's put you up on a pedestal. And that's what's going on right now. And, like, it is what it is, whatever. I don't care as long as it's in the overall scheme of things, because it's bringing more eyeballs to the women's game. But I want, like, put some respect. Put some fucking respect on the name, okay? Anyway, despite all that, I do want to talk. That is what it is. I mean, I can't. There's nothing else to say about that. I do want to shift gears and talk about the actual game. Really good games today. Excuse me. Finished out the Sweet 16. I'm here in Portland. I'm actually in my hotel room. I flew up from the Bay Area to see these games. I'm at the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. Tomorrow starts the Elite 8. And I do want to talk about that Iowa versus Colorado game. And, they lost. Not it was a bad game for them. The last time they played, it was a little bit closer. But I just want to say, like, Jalen Sherrod is, like, ridiculous. She is an amazing person. She's so smart. She has, like, two master's degrees. She finished her undergrad in 3 years, okay, while she was a pro athlete. Not a pro athlete. She was a college athlete. And in the Pac-12, very, very hard conference to be in, RIP. And people doubted her a lot because she's so small, but she's a really great basketball player, and I actually think she's pro level, and I hope that she gets drafted. I don't know if she's going to declare for the draft, if she's interested in doing professional sports, but I think she would do really well in the league. Actually, she'd be a great point guard. But yeah, and I also love that J.R. Payne, the coach, her son was in the press conference, and he was wearing a Jalen Sherrod t-shirt, and I thought that was really special for that. And but moving on to the Elite 8, it's going to be Oregon State versus South Carolina tomorrow morning. I'm going to watch that in this hotel room. Just going to stay in my bed and watch that. And then at 12:30, I think, Texas versus NC State. So I'm going to walk over to the Moda Center. I'm going to check that out. I am rooting for Texas because I'm all about Vic Schaefer. He's an amazing coach. I loved him when he was with Mississippi State. I loved him as an assistant coach at Texas A&M. He is fabulous. He's great. Oh wait, was that Texas A&M? Yeah, it was Texas A&M. And then the day after that, we've got Iowa versus LSU, which is going to be a very big deal because it's a rematch of the championship game. I'm sure it's going to be highly rated. And the officiating is going to suck because it sucked. It always sucks. The refs are really, really disappointing. Unless Dee Kantner is there, I have no hopes, because Dee Kantner actually does a good job. She's good at her job, and is very consistent. But everyone else, I'm just like, bruh, some of y'all need to retire. Some of y'all are really old, and you don't need to be reffing women's college. And some of you are really biased. It's just like a lot of ticky-tack fouls. It's just really inconsistent, and it's ruining the game a bit. So I'm really disappointed with the reffing, but I kind of feel that way about the WNBA as well. I'm just like, who are these guys? Well, in the beginning of the WNBA season, every year, the reffing is terrible for like the first month because they're coming straight from the these refs are coming from the college game, and then they're going to the pro, and then they have to like learn different rules, and they don't know them. It takes them about a month to like get it. So the first month is like tough. Anyway, so Iowa versus LSU, we're gonna have another media extravaganza, pitting them against each other, and I don't know what's gonna happen in this game. I have a feeling LSU will win this game, but it's Iowa's game too, because Caitlin Clark is a really good basketball player. She's a really good passer. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not sure. And then lastly, you got USC versus UConn, which I'll be seeing here. So the Iowa versus LSU game, I don't know what time it is. It's got to be in the morning. No, it's in the afternoon. It's like at 2 or something, or 4. And the USC versus UConn game is at like 6 p.m. So I'm going to watch that. Hopefully I can stay the whole time because my flight leaves at 10. So that game needs to be over at like 8. And if it ain't over at 8, I'm going to be like, ooh, I got to go. So I really hope that's not the case. But yeah, that's it. I'm really excited about these games coming up. It's been a really exciting Sweet 16. Looking forward to this Elite 8 and the championship also next week, which is happening during a very busy time in my personal life. But still excited for it. But yeah, I'm gonna have this video come out on the last day of the Elite Eight, and then I'll do a recap of both of the days for the Elite Eight the following video. So yeah, look out for that. Hope you liked my very, very biased commentary on this situation that's going on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.